welcome to another episode of Ideas to Inspire Ideas. I am the Ideas Man, Bart Riley, who, just like Harrison Wells of Earth 19, am completely useless on my own. That reference would have been more appropriate back in my superhero pitch video. But to make this intro relevant anyway, I'll refer it to hindsight, because this video is about an idea that was supposed to be my first game project. The first game that I started thinking about practically making was already pretty big at the start. This idea came as I was learning the Unity program. Going through some of the tutorials, I've learned that I'm better at the coding and putting it together than actual design and visual side. I don't really like the coding, but I am better at it. So I was just going to buy the Office asset pack and throw in mechanics, play around with it, see what I came up with. And I imagined it as a gamified version of working for Konami. Hell. Yeah, I'm getting lazy, I didn't even print, it's just on my phone. You are an office drone in the worst company in existence. You are given only one job to do, but every possible restriction against doing it. Locked doors, inaccurate paperwork, faulty machinery, and awful co-workers. This is bureaucracy gone insane. Do your best to finish your task before you are fired for incompetence, but be careful. What you find at the end of this paper trail could be horrifying. This was going to be a comedy horror game. I had it conceived as Silent Hill crossed with the Stanley Parable, and in combining them would be the humour of Welcome to Night Vale, the mundanity of existential horror. For never having played Silent Hill, this was going to be my second reference to it, but so the first one was outdoor environments, this one is inside, so two halves of the same reference. I was looking into the price of the Office assets from Unity, as well as talking to a musician friend of mine about getting a musical piece that can be played in 3 styles. The main one would be peaceful office music to play at the start, a second one to be a little more sinister and starting to go evil, and then one version that you play backwards, so it's all distorted and creepy and for when everything goes to hell. But that negotiation fell through when I didn't actually have the money for it. The main thrust of the storyline would be, you start the game, your supervisor gives you one job. Deliver this letter to your boss upstairs or something. And literally every method you try is blocked by completely ridiculous reasons. You try to fax it up, the machine breaks. You phone the secretary, she runs you around. You try the elevator, it doesn't work. You try to take the stairs and there's a ghost in there. You keep going and you hear voices and the lights start turning off on you and things get darker and bloodier and eventually there's just a face staring at you out of the screen and then you come to a big exit sign and you walk out perfectly fine. But on the same floor that you left, so where you were going doesn't matter. You walk away from your desk too long and you come back and see someone else is there because they randomly shuffle on you and you've got to find a new desk. Eventually your supervisor shows up again and fires you for not doing the job that you've been trying to do this whole time. So you find all your stuff, try to leave the building, and the receptionist says you can't walk out the front of the building, you've got to go out the back, but the security guard won't let you out the back because you're not an employee anymore. And as you're running around this labyrinth with the security guard, you walk into a furnace and you're thrown in because you're no longer useful to the company. Pretty twisted ending, yeah, but that's just the main story. If you don't want to do the original job, you can just explore the building and find all these weird scenarios, such as going up onto the roof, you see someone jump off. But if you walk out onto the roof, the door locks you up there until you jump off as well. A twisted foresight. You try to go to the toilet and one of the cubicles is glowing and buzzing and you knock and it's this distorted backwards voice telling you to leave. And on the cubicle wall it's, for a good time, call 666. Fun fact, most elevators don't actually have number 13 on them. So by getting inside an out of order elevator, you find button 13, press it, and find an endless maze of workers that have gone crazy, and they run around the corners and scare the hell out of you, and there's literally no way to get out of it until you go insane. And if you actually manage to get up to the boss's office, you find a utility room that's full of monitors all over the building of every different scenario. So you're always being watched. And you can use these monitors as like a checklist or trophy list of encounters you haven't seen yet. See, ideas are bad, because even on a project that I was trying to scale down and economize on, I thought of way too much too quickly. On that note, if you actually want to see how my first game is going, you can do that, because I finished the prototype, finally. Links below me. I'm so happy to say that. Not just for the pun. Thanks for watching. This is my verbal declaration that I will not sue anyone for using the previous outline to create their own work, regardless of how much fame or money you might get from it. I'm definitely not the kind of artist who thinks I can own a concept. However, I would like to see what comes out of this video just for comparison and curiosity. If you do make something or find an existing piece that's similar, please let me know through Twitter or Facebook or email, and I'll happily check it out. And if you want to see the ideas I am working on for myself, please visit my Patreon page for samples and previews, no payment required. Happy creating, Bart Riley out!